Hey guys, Arm&Gun here. Today with my overview, my more formal overview on the APC308, this is the last video that I'm actually filming in this current series of videos. And I wanted to do it that way because typically I have kind of long overviews and then the reason I break all my videos up is because I want the viewer to be able to, choose for themselves if they want to see a specific segment of a gun. If they just want to know how to disassemble this thing, like I did a couple days ago, then you're just looking for that. You don't want to find like a 30-minute review and sift through everything to try and find that disassembly section, if it even has a disassembly section at all. And then also, you don't want to try and fit a really awesome gun that doesn't have a lot of content out there on it. You don't want to try and cram all the information into a 20 or 30-minute video either. It's nice to kind of like just spread it out, give each thing its own focused area, and go from there. And that's kind of what I've decided my style is going to be with these guns going forward. So every week I do a feature week, pick a gun for that feature week, and do release videos periodically throughout the week on that gun. And then if I got time, something kind of fun on the weekend, like a top 5 or something like that. I've done some of those in the past. If you guys actually want to see, one of them is currently blown up decently well. It's my top 5 innovative guns. Give that a check that out there. And top 5 non-ARs is another one that I've done. And at least one of these guns makes an appearance in that video. Again, this is the APC308. I got the little baby brother here just for reference, the APC223 SBR. The 308 here is in the full length, 18.9 inches. So at any rate, yeah, I wanted to bust out all my videos a la carte, and I'm doing the general overview last because, well, I've covered a ton of details already about this gun in all the other videos, and this is the one video just to kind of tie it all together. So if you only watched one video on the gun, I want it to still be interesting, and at the same time I want it to, reference and nod to the other videos and let you know what's there. And if you want to get more in detail on something, go check those out. So we're going to kick things off with the intro, just cover some of the intro details of the gun, and then I'll just systematically go through it, and we'll cover off all the points of interest on this gun. So starting off, this is the APC, and again, the title says it's the 308, so let's get that caliber up here. This is a 308, and for reference sake, this is a 223, which is the APC 223 over here. So that's what each of these guns are chambered in. You got a 55 grain projectile running at like 3,000-ish feet per second, maybe a little bit less. This one you've got a 150 grain projectile running at the same speed. So roughly, this gun has 2.5 to 3 times the power based on that. There's some other complicating factors and stuff in there as well, but just to show, when they go from a 223 to a 308, they really ramp things up. They really scale up the design, and they've done so by maintaining a very still sleek and slim profile. When I first pulled this thing out of the box, and you can see when I first pulled this out of the box because I didn't even open it until I had a camera out, and that's my very first look of the gun. That's that first video. I couldn't get over how well this thing balanced. I mean, it balances poorly now because I got this PDW stock on it, and I've also added this blast deflector, B&T blast deflector, on the end due to a viewer's recommendation or request. Shane, thanks for the comment. But it comes with a factory flash hider on there. This is just a blast deflector. If you're running close quarters, lots of other people, it just helps chuck that concussion and that blast forward downrange, not out to the sides and bothering your buddies. They're also a great tool for at the range too when you're in close, tight bays and you want to do some faster shooting. These blast deflectors are great, as they definitely, they keep your neighbors a little happier. And that's always good. So, full-length barrel, and I couldn't believe how well it balanced. Again, we got 223s in Canada before. The big thing with these is that the natural barrel length of 18.9, the way this gun was designed, it fits within our regulations, so we don't trigger our SBR laws. Because yes, Canada does have SBR laws. They're just a bit more convoluted. But this had a factory designed from the ground up 18.9 inch barrel. The 223 we originally got wasn't. It was kind of just a carbine, and then they just put an extra long barrel on it because the distributor, Wolverine Supplies, has a really close relationship with B&T, so much so that their logo is literally laser engraved onto the receivers, most of the receivers that come into the country here and are sold by them. That's really cool. I really love that there's that, you know, tight-knit community. But they specially made the long barrel version of the 223 for us in Canada with an appropriately long barrel. However, it was heavy, had a longer rifle or gas system than it probably needed. At least this is the feedback that I've gotten from some people talking to them out here. And it was just a really heavy gun, really front heavy as well. And they didn't have the rifle stock going out with it. They were getting sold with the little skeleton stock that you see that looked very reminiscent of a UMP style stock. And that made for a very unbalanced gun. And I know I had little interest in it until I saw the SBR, and then I absolutely fell in love with it. But this gun out of the box, just the balance point with the rifle stock on it is going to be just inside of here. And that's perfect for a gun with this long of a barrel. They built this thing right. And I was mentioning when they scaled up, like this receiver is essentially the same from 223 to 308. They didn't change this extrusion. They didn't, or much was extruded or milled. They didn't change that. 100% the same. All these stocks, plug and play, exactly the same, and they fit the same profile, which is kind of why I think it's an extrusion. But it's just great. Though I don't know if you can. I'm going to stop talking. I don't know if if you can extrude. I'm getting a bit out of my wheelhouse there, so I'm just going to stop talking. Handguard would be extruded for sure, being aluminum. But no, this is just, sorry, bumped my camera there. Just a phenomenal weapon system. And I really have to credit Carl Brugger and B&T for making this not a brick. I mean, this gun weighs, in this current loadout with, well, not this current loadout, with this thing, and sights, and I believe a mag, 10.59 pounds, I think, is the Canadian one. I think it's like 4.8 kilos. I got technical specs in the description. If you want to know if I say something wrong, which I do all the time, not all the time, but often enough, I'm happy to admit that I make mistakes. But if I do, I've also added a correction section, and then again, that technical spec section below as well. So if I'm also saying something in inches instead of millimeters, and it's driving you nuts, I'm slowly starting to convert and offer millimeters as well. But if I miss something, just hit the technical specs part in the description, and you can find it all there. And I update that as I learn more. Some sections are sometimes blank if I haven't verified something yet. So I wanted to say that this gun has now moved to an aluminum lower as well. The original 223, these Gen 1 guns, the GHM9, the APC223 or APC9, all those guns had a polymer lower and a molded in pistol grip. Big beef with that. Big beef. The world today is modular. Everyone wants to put their own stuff on the gun, deck it out as they like, and I am no different. I'm a bit of a prima donna when it comes to some stuff, some accessories that I like, and one are ergo grips. So it drove me nuts that I couldn't throw an ergo grip on here, or at least some other grip, because I did find this factory grip to be too long. If you're running it with a 30-round mag, I mean, at least it looks kind of normal. When you're running it with a short mag, and the handguard or the grip sticks out beyond the mag, it's kind of like, I was scratching my head a bit. I'm like, I don't know why. Like, I have big hands, and when I'm up, you know, realistically using this gun with the web of my hand all the way up the back strap, I've got room for like another finger and a half down here. And I mean, this isn't like a high capacity handgun where you're cramming all the rounds into the back, the bottom of the grip, and you want that extra length for that extra capacity. No, this is literally just to hold the gun. So I don't think it needed to be that long. But then lo and behold, I saw pictures of this thing, so I knew that they looked like they were at least went to a lower profile grip, and it maybe was even, you know, an AR grip. So I was pretty excited, and then my dreams kind of, you know, they came true when I got this thing in. Not only did it have an AR grip, it had a metal lower, which I prefer. I'm not sure what type of aluminum alloy this is, but it is nice. And full ambi controls, though that is my other point of contention with this gun. I've got 2 points of contention, and that's basically it. It's almost a perfect gun for today's day and age. I really, really like it. Number one would be the fact that this is reciprocating, and for me, if it's a reciprocating gun and the charging handle's up here somewhere, it doesn't matter as much. If it's a non-reciprocating gun, if it's a reciprocating gun and the charging handle's right here, you'll see in my shooting video, I had a bunch of malfunctions because I just naturally like to grip up like this and wrap my thumb around the charging handle. That's a no-no when you've got a reciprocating system, because you basically lock your hand around this and you prevent it from cycling. So you shoot, it jumps back a little bit under the recoil, or like the piston hits it, right? But then you prevent it from ejecting. So I was locking up the gun every single time, and I just was at one point I was holding by the mag, so I would try and force myself not to do it, but that doesn't work. That's not good, not for me. The Scar is the same way, and I think the Brand 805 is also the same way, but again, leave it to B&T. Like, they've addressed this in their APC9 Pro. APC9, same system as this. APC9 Pro, the gun that they submitted for the Americans SCW subcompact weapon commission or tender, which they went on to win, by the way, which is pretty awesome. That had dual folding charging handles, both sides, and they were non-reciprocating. Amazing. So I'm just now, waiting for them to apply that to these guns. But they're super busy. They're getting more and more popular, with their current guns, fulfilling police contracts and whatnot, because they're just amazing guns. And I think it's, they're super innovative as it is. Carl is always innovating from every video, everything I've heard about him. So I'm sure it will come to fruition. It might just be a little bit while they're busy with all the other stuff they've got going on. Nonetheless, the other point of contention is this bolt release. It is super stiff. So also this folding charge, I'll leave it open because when it shuts, it should auto close. It usually does. But so the PDW stock on the smaller guns, this doesn't work very well. You have to really get in there. If you got gloves on, there's basically no chance you're going to depress that bolt release there. And even without, it's quite difficult. You have to really get up in there and drop that. And if you got a full mag, it can be even more of a struggle. You got to overcome the follower pressure with this thing, as well as the friction of the bolt riding up against it. So I would be in favor of dropping this here, if that's possible. I don't know a lot about gun design and how the inner workings work, but that's my other main point of feedback, would be to drop this down here, much like the XCR. The XCR, again, that's my gold standard for ergonomics, with the exception of the charging handle, because that charging handle is only on the left side. And while it works great for me, if I had to, after, honestly, with that gun, once you've got it charged, you can pretty much manipulate everything with your hand controls around the trigger group. It's very well laid out there. So I don't know if it really matters, but initially for a lefty, or for shooting from your left side, you can't run the charging handle on the right side. So it is what it is. That'd be one point where I think they could maybe work on that. I don't know how their design would lend to that, but that's a tangent here. So I do respect both guns immensely. They are fantastic and probably far better than anything I would dream up. So I'm just here admiring their stuff and getting to play with their stuff. So I'm grateful. It's kind of what I'm trying to say here at the end of the day. And that's honestly, what else am I really going to tell you about this gun that I haven't covered? It's got an adjustable gas system for, I want to say, suppressed and unsuppressed, knowing Bruger, Tomet, that they're Carl with suppressing everything. It would probably be for suppressed and unsuppressed. Super simple to pop this all apart. This gun is very easy to maintain. I've got that all in my disassembly video, and if you want to see what the gun looks like inside, I give you a pretty good overview of all of that. B&T factory foregrip, and honestly, that's the gun, guys. Everything else I've covered in great detail in other videos, so if I've sold you enough on being interested in this gun, awesome. Go check those out. I would 100% appreciate it. Thanks again, guys. If you want to check me out, Instagram is below at arm.and.gun. I post there daily, so you get to see a little more aesthetically. I kind of focus on aesthetics there, whereas I try and focus on information here on YouTube. But go check it out there. And some guys might joke, people say I talk a lot in these videos, and the running joke is that I've spent 3 years taking pictures, not being able to say anything, and now I'm just trying to get it all out. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'll talk myself out in a few videos here. But no, nonetheless, thank you so much. I've got Patreon live now as well. I'll link up here. If you guys want to throw a few bucks my way, everything is 100% going back into the channel. I'm just trying to keep up at this point because I really want to keep delivering a lot of content. I want to improve the quality of the content, both audio, visual, and my knowledge. I want to be able to shoot the guns more, which just is ammo. So, and I'll flip my range to some more targets to make those shooting videos more dynamic and more engaging and exciting as well. So that's it. That's my pitch. Thanks a ton, guys. Arm&Gun out. Except for all the guys that hung around for the bonus gun. Because today it is a fun guy. It is the XCRM Mini. This is a micro actually. Let's swipe. Screw it, we'll take the drum mag. Drum mag, and let's pop the camera out so you guys can really see this thing. Boom. Okay, so we've got a 9.5-inch barrel. This thing is spitting 308. Same caliber as this gun. Made by Robinson Arms. This thing is just, oh man, I love this gun. Love this gun. This is that big erg I was talking, the big charging handle I was talking about, right? So the D50 drum by Magpul doesn't have a last round bolt hole open, so it's not going to function that anyways. But it makes it really easy to show you guys what I'm talking about here. So pull this back, finger controls, the bolt is locked back. And again, this is non-reciprocating, except when I touch back and touch off the bolt there, bolt carrier. But then you just depress this thing, which is mirrored on both sides. Depress it, and the bolt gets stuck on the mag. That's weird. I haven't actually played around with that drum too much with this gun, but let's do that again. Boom. Awesome. Very like AR bolt release. Nice 45-degree throw safety. I think the new guns might take AR triggers or something closer to it. These ones don't quite. They're a little bit different inside, but just an awesome gun. Super easy to break open and maintain as well. Just phenomenal design. Again, gas piston operated. Just awesome. I just wanted to show you guys that here today. Toss another mag in it real quick and show you that this is what gun that trained me to run guns this way, just because it's so comfortable to hold the gun like this. And then, unfortunately, the fallout from that is when you go to run a gun like this, it doesn't work. But you can always just swap the charging handle to the other side. The first two ways I shot the gun had the charging handle on the left, largely due to the fact that I didn't want to be racking my hands against these QD levers on this optic. And it ran fine then, because obviously then it's not in the way, and then it doesn't matter if I do that. So anyways, I digress. There's your bonus gun. We'll be getting some shooting videos of this thing too, because it's, man, 308 coming out of this thing is, whew, it's a time, let me tell you. A fun time. All right, guys, that's it. Peace out.